Okay then, in this video we'll continue our discussion on functions. So in the previous video we created a very basic function which prints two parameters. So the first one is fruits and the second one is vegetables. So in here, in this function, we are not returning a value. If you want a function to return a value, you should use a statement called a return. So in here, instead of print statement, I can say return fruits and vegetables like this. That means it's going to return fruits and vegetables. So in here, when I call this function, I need to do a little bit of change if I want to print fruits and vegetables, right? So I'll say print, and then I will call my function, which is my fruits function. So now if I run it, it's gonna, print cherry and potato, you see? So instead of this one, it can be anything, right? So for instance, you can add two numbers or do some other things, etc. But that's how you return a value if you want to, okay? So now let's talk about arguments in more detail. So in here, that's a very basic and standard way of creating functions and also calling functions. So in here we can use, when we call a function, we can use positional argument or keyword argument. So for instance, in this example, we are using positional argument. So let me create a better example to demonstrate what I am talking about. So let's create a function which prints name and age. So I'll say def name age standard, and it's gonna accept two parameters. So the first one is name and the second one is age, and we're gonna print those two parameters in here. So now I can call this function using a positional argument like this. So name age standard. And then in here, I'll specify first name, which is John, and then it's gonna be age 20. So that's this is called positional argument because the position is very important. So let me show that to you. So if I print, it's gonna if I run this code, it's gonna print John and 20. So if I swap places like this, it's gonna print first 20 and then John, which is not what I want. I'm just showing you what I mean, okay? So you cannot change the position in here, all right? But you can also call this function using keywords, because in here we have keywords, right? Name and age. So let me show you how to do it with a keyword. So with a keyword, it's gonna be name and then age. With the keyword, you can mix places, so it doesn't matter. So for instance, second argument can be the first one in here, and then the first parameter can be second. So let me show that to you. It's still gonna work. So you see John, even though in here in the second one and I'm using keyword and they are swapped. But the important thing is you just need to specify keywords, okay? So now this is called standard way of defining functions, but you can make your function so that it accepts only positional arguments. So how do you do that? So if you want to do that, what you need is after your parameters, you need /. So now let me comment out this one. So actually, let's rename this one as well, because it's gonna be confusing if I just leave it like this. It's gonna be name age positional and then like this. So now let's save this one and run it. So you see, if I run this, Python will throw an error saying positional only arguments passed as keyword arguments. So it's saying that I am passing keyword arguments, whereas I'm supposed to pass positional arguments only. So if I comment out this one and uncomment, my code will work no problem, because in here I am passing positional arguments. So let me show that to you. So you see, so that's how you define positional argument, or in other words, strictly positional argument functions. So you can make it keyword argument only as well. So that means your function is gonna accept only keyword arguments. It's not gonna accept positional arguments. If you want that, what you need is you need star before your parameters. And let me rename my function. So it's gonna be keyword. So now if I run this function, it's gonna throw an error because in here I am passing positional arguments, right? So let me show that to you. So you see, it says takes 0 positional arguments, but 2 were given. So, but if I comment this and uncomment keyword ones, no problem. So let me show that to you. So you see, John 20. That's how you define keyword argument only functions. And you can also combine, standard, positional, and keyword. If you want to do that, what you need is you need to specify your positional ones first, like this, and then you can specify your standard one. I'll say just standard argument, parameter, param, and then you can start specifying keyword arguments. So I'll say name, age, standard parameter, and then maybe height, and then weight, like this. So now I need to make it, combine it, and then let me put those new ones in, standard, param, height, and then weight, like this. So, and we need to call our function name, age, and then for the standard one, it can be anything. So I'll say, for instance, for the standard param, I will say high or whatever, and then height. So for the height one, it's gonna be this, and then 170, and then for the weight, it's gonna be this, and then 70 kilos, like this. But in here, I need to change this one, these two, to these ones, and then I need to fix positions before I run my code. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's run it. So you see, John 20, high 170, and then 70 kilos. So that's how you combine, standard, positional, and keyword ones. So that's it regarding this video, and we'll continue our discussion on functions in the next one.